And I think that, for example, if we believe that just because I'm giving you money, I owe you as a person, I think we are playing in the wrong side of the society. So I don't see these relations that I might have with some other hierarchies, like my boss. I don't see it as, I don't see myself as an object there. Even, for example, with my slaves as a dominatrix. Currently, they are not paying to me because I am training to become a professional one.
Okay, it was my question. Okay, let's talk about it. A professional dominatrix, what is it and why? And why?
Why?
And who needs it?
So a professional dominatrix. A dominatrix is it's a female that is considered a dom into the BDSM community. So the BDSM is bondage, discipline, domination, sadomasochism, or S could be submission as well. So it's considered one female that is it's a dom, and that likes to have submissive people under their orders. So why? I just like power. Like it for me, it doesn't have any sexual gratification. I do not have any sexual approach with my slaves, for example, but it's just matter of power. I like how they see me, because it's not, they don't see me with desire, it's not love either, it's devotion. And when someone like just see you as devotion, like with all that devotion, it's power, and I like it. Who use this? Normally these services, because our domination services, are taken for people who have the privilege of money as well, because these are not cheap services either. Professional dominatrix in the United States, they can charge between $200 and $600 per hour. Here in Estonia, the professional ones are charging around 150 euros per hour. So we need to ask ourselves, who are the person who have enough income to be spending 150 euros for example, licking my boots, because that's what they do. So they could come and just lick my boots. They then just leave. Or another person that comes here and I whip them for, I don't know, an hour and then leave. Or that I force them to do a workout and then they leave. So they are paying, well, currently they are not paying to me because I'm doing it as a training. I need to learn more to be better in my practices, to be able to charge that amount of money. But there are some other professionals that they know what they are doing. They are expertises in some areas, and that's why they are able to charge that amount of money.
Use this mask. Can we show it?
Yeah, sure. So this is one of my masks. Yeah, that's my hobby.
So people, men or women?
Currently, I just have men.
No. Men pay you for licking your boots?
Currently,
or legs?
he's not paying me. Like, I need to be better in these practices. I just use them as training. They are my guinea pigs. I had been doing this for over a year. I used to have 6 slaves, Now I'm currently just having 2 of them because I don't have enough time. And I don't charge them. They bring tributes because tribute is important. They need to express to their mistress.
What kind of tributes?
They need to bring wine.
Just wine?
At least just wine.
And you drink wine?
No.
All together?
No.
What do you do with?
No, I just put them there.
Oh.
Yeah, they are not alcohol in our sessions. It's important to all be sober so we can make negotiations and we can consent what we are doing. Because my top priority is security.
Well, keep continuing. What do you do?
I do a lot of things, but I'll say my favorite, it's they call it mindfuckery. That is basically psychological terror. So something that I really, really like to do, it's just put something on their mouth, something on their eyes, something on their ears, and then wrap them up with either my ropes or with some film, and just leave them on a corner for 2 hours. So they don't know what's going on. They don't understand what is going to happen. So that's something that I really, really like to do.
So, do you like to humiliate people to make them feel bad or suffering?
I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a sadist as well. I'm sadomasochist, but I really like my masochist part, but I prefer currently my sadistic part. So, I think that's why I took this path, the dominatrix path, because I can do it with consent. Like people, they are asking me to do this. And we have a previous negotiation when we talk what to do, what not to do, what they will never do. So therefore, I will never ask something that is beyond their limits. Because I know I cannot be an asshole in an everyday. I shouldn't. I could. I shouldn't. I shouldn't be an asshole with the waiter. I shouldn't be an asshole with the driver. I shouldn't be an asshole with my neighbor. It's something that a very basic, I think, respect of community. But I also have this very sadistic side of me that I could bring with these practices, with the consent of the other people. So for me, it works very nicely.
Do you beat them?
Yes.
So it means to be professional, yes? Just to realize your sadistic nature.
That doesn't bring you on the professional side, that's for sure.
What makes you professional, and it's easy to be beaten by a sadistic woman. You just need to to be married.
I mean,
because you know, women now, they are so strong, yeah, so like terminators, yeah, and so cruel, and they have a lot of violence inside, and they.
I don't think it's violence. I think a lot of us, we are very angry.
Yes.
And we are very angry with the society itself, yes. With the status or the position that a lot of people think we have, and especially in a society that is very sexist, that thinks that women should be super cute, super feminine, super like. I think that's another type of violence, trying to keep us in that box. So we are very diverse, just like men are, and we can do whatever we want, just as men do. So I think that we are evolving as well in that level, and that's why I like to talk very freely about what I do, because I think, again, if we put the topic on the table, we can improve, like at least we are talking about it. So to become a professional, basically you need to be paid for it. It's not like you have an academy of how to become a professional dominatrix. You might have some courses, there are some mentors, there are some practices, like you can go to a dungeon and perhaps ask to another professional dominator, like, can I be your assistant, for example. I had been learning by myself with a lot of courses, with a lot of mentors that I have strictly online, but I'm learning by my own practices. And the day that because some people say that right now I could be able to charge, but I still, personally speaking, I don't feel good enough to charge 100 euros, for example, per hour. And the moment that I feel personally ready to do that, and that I mastered my practices in that level, I will do it. But I'm currently not at that level yet.
Okay, but there is no sexual intercourse after this. So it's this pleasure is enough for your client.
I don't know. There is a negotiation, and they know that we won't ever have any sexual interaction between us. If they agree, because there are interviews, there are filters. Not all the persons that ask for me or ask for my services, they actually come to my place, because I do my sessions here. And if they accept that, it is like, okay, we can go to the next stage of the filter. Some of them, there is just their fantasy of losing control or being dominated or being humiliated. Because some of them, they are bosses, they are like high ranks of somewhere, they have all the power, and they just want to know how does it feel not having it at all. So they know that almost all the time they are restrained, like by handcuffs or by ropes or by something. And I always try to keep the control over them that way. So if something happens, because in this type of practices, it could happen that someone has a panic attack, an anxiety attack, a psychotic attack, because these are practices that are so intimate that there are some practices that people just do not talk with anyone else, right? Just with me. So both of us, we need to feel safe. And for me, feeling safe is not having any sexual intercourse with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is it popular in Estonia?
It's not that popular, I'll say. Like, there are some places that is just insane. Like, for example, in San Francisco, in California, in New York. There are some other places, for example, in the States, that they even do like conventions about it. In Berlin, well, in Germany itself, it's super, super popular. There are dungeons everywhere. There are dominatrixes everywhere. In the Netherlands as well. In Sweden, there are a few. Here in Estonia, it's a very hermetic, close circle, I'll say. I think it's related to the culture itself, to the Estonian culture itself, that they are very private. They really like their private life, very far from their public life. So I think that could be related, but it's not as popular as it will be in other places in Europe, for example.